Hi, I'm Shane.
And I'm Kelsey, and this is Dixie. And we live here in our truck bed tiny home that we've named the Love Hut.
It took us 43 days to build this.
And we did most of the work ourselves. You'll see right there at the end, we had to call in some reinforcements just to avoid some tragedies. We'll invite you in for a tour in a few days, but first we had to build this thing and we recorded the whole thing for you. So here you go. So I basically drew these pictures and said, baby, I want to build this and I want to live in it. And he's amazing, so he did his absolute best to make it happen. We're counting days as any day that we had any time at all to work on this. Sometimes a day counts as just an hour or two. Other days we were out there from sunup to sundown, sometimes even later than that. It just depends, but that's how we're calculating it. So when you see the little days in the corner, that's what we're talking about.
The first step was building the base to make sure it fits inside the back of the truck and would slide in and out easily.
I was excited at this point, but I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried about our abilities to pull this off. Before this last year, I'd never even picked up a hand tool or a power tool, and Shane hadn't in the 8 years that we had been together. We got a little practice in remodeling his mom's house over the last year, so I at least knew what tools were called when we started.
All right, so here we took 2x4s and built the main frame of the structure, only because we intended on putting kayaks as well as standing on top of it. So that had to be a lot stronger. The rest was built in with 2x2s to keep down the weight as much as possible.
This is the point where it started to really look like something. We started getting attention. People started slowing down, asking us questions. I'm not really sure what it looked like at this point, but you could definitely tell we were building something.
We used 1x3s as floor joists across the bedroom to once again cut down on weight and to disperse the weight evenly.
Here I used 2x3s to extend out horizontally. I then built downwards with 2x2s as well as 1x3s to connect to the bottom flooring and try to bring back some of the weight from the nose back to the center post. Today was one of my favorite points. Up until this point, most people had just kind of slowed down in the middle of the road or stopped and rolled down their window and asked what we were doing. Today, one of our neighbors decided to pull up on his four-wheeler and check out what we were doing and was really excited about the idea of putting a tiny home, in essence, in the back of a pickup truck.
We got the frame completely done. As you can see, we haven't built in the windows or anything like that yet, but we've got a closet and cooler space here, kitchen here, shoe storage, and TV will be on that wall. We'll have a big window, a seating space and storage here, and then our staircase to come up this way. We did go ahead and put some plastic over the top. It's just going to act as some extra water sealant once we get the ceiling on. We are going to do it for the bedroom as well, but I wanted to show you real quick. If you'll hand me that, I'll show the top. All it is plastic sheeting from a prior painting project. We just had some extra. You can see there's even paint still on here, but we're just going to get this really flat and put some plywood up, and that'll be our roof. plan for siding. Our original plan was to use pallet boards that we had collected and refurbished. That was going to be way too heavy. We're terrified that we're going to be overweight. So we decided to go with a more lightweight option, just 4x8 sheets of siding. It kind of looks like shiplap, which is what I'm doing on the inside anyways. So I think it'll all tie in and look really great. So once again, we were really worried about making sure that everything was as waterproof as possible. So we went ahead and filled in every single screw hole with wood glue and then sanded it down and recovered it with silicone. We know that the silicone is going to cause an issue with the paint. We're not quite sure how big of an issue, but we figured questionable paint was better than water leaks any day. The front nose of this roof has been absolute pain in the ass, and I'm starting to understand why Shane really begged me to make this thing a square box. I still think it'll look cooler this way, but it wasted a lot of time.
As we added more and more wooden panels throughout this build, we really had to utilize liquid nail in a lot of the seams, as well as where they connected to the 2x2s and 2x4s to really make sure we have a tight seal all the way around. Liquid nail tends to be a little flexible, so I'm hoping that it still holds even with torquing and flexing being on the back of a pickup truck.
Alright guys, we're on day 18. I just wanted to give you a status update. So we have all of the sides on and the roof pieces are attached. Right now Shane is waterproofing the roof. I'm going to hand you up to him in just a second so that he can explain a little bit more about what he's doing. But I just want to walk you around real quick. We've got our front window. This is actually the window that's going to be up, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's huge. And while I've been off camera, I've just been in here getting a couple of the interior walls done. And of course making sure everything is waterproof inside. So here you go, Shane. Can I explain what you're doing?
All right. So, I've taken bed sheets that I picked up at the thrift store and stretched them out and kept them as tight as I possibly could. Up here is definitely a lot trickier because of the angles. But the idea is I'm going to utilize latex paint and do multiple layers over the sheet. And in theory, according to the guy that I picked it up off of his blog, then it creates a nice waterproof shell. And I'm going to use that for the roof instead of some other rubber coating. And we'll see how it goes.
The camera died here, but we got the first layer of paint on and we have window holes now. I'm so excited. It actually did pretty well. The vent hole was a bit of an issue, but that's literally just a sheet with a couple of layers of paint right now, so that was to be expected. Other than that, everything held up great. We have more rain coming tomorrow, so we're going to try to get everything we can done today. It's time for the yellow paint. This whole thing's starting to feel really real, and we're just excited and happy and can't wait to be done.
With the threat of oncoming rain, we decided to leave the tarps on and just set up some work lights and worked inside tonight.
Dixie spent the night getting to know what I'm sure is going to be her favorite place in the hut. I'm sure she'll like it a whole lot better once the mattress is up there, though. Alright, so with all of the rain, we really couldn't do much work on the hut today, so we went ahead and decided we were going to come look at a new truck. We really didn't know if we were going to buy one, but we just thought we'd make use of the day, and we wound up walking away with a 2500. So we're no longer worried about weight. We've been really stressing, and that's not really an issue anymore. You want to say anything?
No, I got a new truck today though.
All right, well, let's drive it. Today was the first day since we started the build. The highs were actually below 95 degrees. Some days it's been over 100. We started mid-September, and it's October now, and we're finally getting a day where I think the high is 83. So we're going to take advantage of it and get as much work done as we possibly can. I'm stuffing the walls with fiberglass insulation. It's probably not the best thing to use for this, but we had some open bags of it that we couldn't return from a prior project, and we decided to cut costs and use what we had.
So today we got all the windows in with the exception of the one on the front door as well as the one on the door leading up to the roof from the bedroom. All the windows were made with acrylic plastic. I bought them from Interstate Plastics here in Birmingham, and I was able just to get one sheet, and they trimmed them down and cut all the windows out of just one, so I saved a lot there instead of buying them individually.
All 8 windows wound up only costing about $165 though, so that was pretty awesome. While he was doing that, I was able to get most of the shiplap done and all of the interior window frames done.
Here I'm finishing up where the flat roof meets the dome roof and installing a window/door and fixing any places that could possibly leak.
Cold this morning. I think it's in the 50s. We're bundled up, and we're gonna try to get some work done through the shivering.
We're using the same 1x3 strips, furring strips to be precise, that we used in the bedroom for the flooring to go around the outside for molding as well as inside for any molding and finish work we need around the frames.
Our plan was to go ahead and get the rest of the framing done and get the final layer of paint on today, but the weather had other ideas.
It started pouring rain on us, so we pulled the tarps down tight and got in the house as fast as we could.
I got the shiplap done and started working on the stain while Shane started working on the interior build.
Here I'm starting to build in the cabinets as well as shelving using pallet wood for the most part.
Since we're not worried about weight anymore, we're able to actually use a lot of the pallet wood that we had previously refurbished and planned on using on the outside. We finally got some sunshine, so we took advantage of it, got the rest of the framing done and some more paint. And tomorrow's going to be all rain, so we're just going to be working on the inside the best we can. Dixie to have her own little place for her bed and her food bowl that's not right in the middle of our very small floor space. So Shayna's actually building in a perfect little hole for her underneath our dry food storage. We took the tarps down this morning for what we hope is the last time ever and managed to get some of the storage and the front nose completed and another layer of paint on. The brackets for the jack system came in, so Shane's working on getting those put in. We were right about the silicone causing an issue with the paint. It just made it kind of mound up and be really hard to cover. But through multiple coats, I think we're getting it done where it's not going to look too bad.
I still say it's better than Link's.
I'm building 2 storage compartments in the bedroom. One's going to be used as a hamper and the other one as an end table / place to put personal items.
And I'm building in the kitchen cabinets. We're using pallet wood to cover the exterior.
We're actually getting to utilize a lot of the pallet wood. We're covering all of the cabinets with it, using it for the closet, and using it to build a wall that kind of separates the bedroom and the kitchen, making it feel a little bit more like a real house.
More paint. We're getting there. And here I start applying Flex Seal. It's the clear coat version of it. I'm going to do one whole coat, and then I've got to wait on a rainstorm to blow through, and then I'll add a secondary coat on top.
Yeah, we just weren't trusting that poor man's fiberglass thing we had going on with the sheets up top. I started working on the stain while Shane worked on building some more stuff outside.
We planned on nearing completion today, but once again, the Alabama weather has changed our plans.
Thankfully, it didn't rain all day, and we were able to get outside and do some work.
Kelsey's working on a little project I've been calling my Hillbilly Yeti. I found an old school Coleman poly cooler, and I decided to cover the outside of it in spray foam.
We're at about $50 in foam, actually, but I mean, the cooler was free, so if this works as well as he says it will, then I mean, it should be worth it.
I built the exterior door, and then we both tag teamed on the sliding rails for the storage drawer underneath.
A layer of paint on our new doors, and we're gonna get some sleep and head right back at it in the morning.
So it's day 33, there's no rain, and we're so close we can see the end. Today we're finishing up building in the rest of the cabinets, as well as finishing the doors and any last touches.
I'm taking care of the doors, making sure they're painted and stained, and Shane's getting started on getting us some clothes storage and a couch to sit on.
I took the opportunity to sit down for a while. I had storage to build in for the battery units and a seating elevated pedestal that'll be part of the staircase. Kelsey stood behind me outside and cut each piece for me, so things went a lot faster.
about 9:30. Shane kept working on the cabinets and the interior storage until about 11. We are so close. I can taste it. It's day 34. We're under tornado watch this morning and have huge storms coming all day. So we're just focused on getting all of the holes watertight so that we don't have to mess with this tarp anymore. I'm getting a little bit of the interior build done while Shane does that, but really we just gotta focus on getting everything tight right now. Up and all of the windows sealed, so we should be good to get through this storm. I guess it's a good test for it.
The rain was showing no signs of letting up, so I took the time to organize the garage and clear out the floor space so Kels could stain in there and I could work as well. I spent a lot of time on this side of the interior trying to figure out the dynamics of the couch, the dresser, and additional storage, as well as access to the batteries beneath the floor.
I'm actually really excited about the amount of storage that we're going to have in this place. It's way more than I drew in, and I think I might have to rethink how much I packed.
We were debating. So I'm gonna put some battery right there.
Okay.
The wire's just gonna run straight up.
I would say it is much larger in here than I picture.
Yeah. Bed's gonna go a long ways. Built it for machine size.
What do you think, Chris? Can we finish this thing today?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have this ready to go. Are you gonna try to? So I saw some type of jacking type deal on this. How does that?
Oh yeah.
So the intention is to jack this thing up and just shmoop
Yeah.
right underneath it.
Back right under.
All right.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
How good are you at backing up?
Well, we'll see.
Can you back that up?
I think I can back that ass up.
Okay. Neat.
Yeah. It was a bit of an effort. 35 days though, man.
We should have welded this up with steel.
Yeah.
A lot lighter.
Oh well. I did use untreated for the most part, so by my calculations, I'm somewhere under 2. I don't know where I'm at, but I'm under 2,000 pounds, which ain't bad.
Oh, with this?
Yeah.
There's probably time.
Our buddy Chris came today, and we were so excited to have him here. He's kind of the guy that we go to when we have any questions about building anything, so maybe he's going to really be able to help us out.
Chris helped me hoist up the panels and get those mounted as Kels worked inside building cabinets as well as staining anything left.
I got as much of the interior done as I could while the boys worked on getting all of the big house packed up and put into storage. With the garage cleared out, we were able to do a lot more work underneath the lights, so it made night working a whole lot easier.
I used some old corrugated tin that I found in my Mima's barn to cover the backsplash as well as the under cabinet under the sink to help with any heat deflection from the range top.
We worked until about 1 a.m. We're still not done, but we're so much closer than we were this morning. We've been up since 6, so we're gonna get some sleep and get right back at it in the morning.
It's been a really long road, but the end is in sight. We're almost there.
I'm working on breaking down some more pallets to finish the interior while Shane works on fixing some structural issues that Chris pointed out yesterday.
The 2x2s that I used to support the roof were not quite cutting, holding the weight up, particularly while anyone was on top of it. So due to a suggestion of a friend, I used 8-inch thickness angle iron, 1 inch on each side, and I supported the support beams across the top of the roof to help hold the load up to stop any flexing so leaks don't happen along the roof line.
We got our closet completely finished, and then I started working on the countertop, and Shane started working in that right corner. We're just gonna work step by step around the hut until we're done. I finished my counter / door to my dry storage today, and it turned out really, really cute. I've been planning it for a long time, so I'm excited. Guy stopped by today. He said that he and his wife built something similar to this in a bus when they were young back in the 60s, and they've been watching us all month, and he just couldn't help it anymore. He wanted to see inside. After he left, Shane got to work outside on the plumbing, and I got a little bit more done inside before we stopped and took a break for lunch.
Kelsey's finishing up another one of our storage bins while I start cutting the tile for the countertop around the sink and the stove. Instead of grout, I use construction adhesive to hold down these tiles.
We're hoping that will cut down on the effect of road vibrations. Once again, we're battling storms. This one pretty much took me out, so I'm inside trying to get some curtains done, and Shane is powering through and getting everything he possibly can done in the rain. We are so close at this point. We need a break.
I was able to get the linoleum flooring down as well as get the cabinet doors up, putting us in a great place for tomorrow.
It's day 39. We are so close. We're getting a couple of breaks in the rain every now and then. Usually they're only lasting for about 5 minutes, but we're trying to take advantage of them the best we can. Shane's working on getting the plumbing done and the wiring, and I'm working on making sure all of the cushions are ready and everything's cleaned up. Some of the hardware is getting put on, just basically putting the final touches on. It's 2 a.m. We're all tired. Basically, I'm just getting everything cleaned up so that we can get started in the morning around 6 a.m. and hopefully finish this thing tomorrow and get to sleep in here tomorrow night. We're starting out day 40, finishing out the ceiling. We wanted to go as lightweight as possible, but we wanted something a little fancier than sheets, so we went to Hancock Fabrics and got this really pretty material with this cute little like paisley design on it. I really like it. I think it's going to turn out really well. We have a mattress. I really wish I would have been recording that on video instead of time-lapse, because Dixie's reaction to that thing expanding was hilarious. He got the rest of the ceiling up while I worked on getting some cushions made for the couch inside. It's pretty clear at this point that we're not finishing tonight, but I'm sick of that air mattress, so I'm going ahead and getting the bed ready anyways.
I was attempting to use a foot pump siphon system for the water, so there was no electric involved, but that did not necessarily pan out. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to sleep tonight and then go pick up an electric pump in the morning.
We slept in here last night and feel so much better after a good night's sleep on our new bed. We are just finishing up. I'm doing the floorboards. Shane's doing the wiring. It's really starting to come together. We went with the Renogy solar starter pack that's 200 watts. It came with an instructional video that made it look like it was going to take maybe 10 minutes to connect. We've been working on it for about 8 hours and still not done, so we're sleeping in the driveway again tonight. This morning I'm working on a cooler door and just getting some of the aesthetic final paint on the front door. We weren't sure if we were going to have time, but Shane is still messing with this solar thing, so I'm just trying to stay out of his way and get as much done outside as I can.
The solar kit was actually quite simple to hook up. It was all of the DC wiring that I ran throughout the hut that made this so difficult.
We finally got it just in time for us to get some sleep and start back at it in the morning. The plumbing done this morning. You got the TV up, so I can go ahead and start putting picture frames up and just starting to make the place feel more like home.
Now it's time to bring in all of our gear and lift this thing up in the air and mount it in the back of the truck.
As with most things involving this hut, it did not go as planned. That's okay though. I think we're going to get a crane in the morning. We'll figure it out. We'll get out of here somehow.
Well, I called in Campbell Towing, and these guys came in with their sliding rotator truck and picked up the tiny hut and slid it into the back of my truck. Best afternoon yet.
It's been a long process, but we're finally here. We're ready to hit the road tomorrow, and we couldn't be happier with the finished product. If you watch till the end, you know a hell of a lot more about what it takes to build one of these than we did when we started. So, guys, we hope you enjoyed this. Like, share, and follow. There's more videos to come.